Nick, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Emerson could not join us. I don't know where he's at. Having some technical difficulties, I guess, but whatever. You got the two of us.
Whoa! How did I get here?
Emerson, how you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. I was just, drowning my sorrows in a bottle, but now I'm here at the Center Saloon.
You're not a TV screen.
I know, yeah. I am no longer a floating head on a screen. People, I am real, and I am here on the scene.
It's good to have you, Emerson. We're excited.
It's great to be here. Thank
There we go. So let's talk about the draft, guys. Let's talk about the draft. We had 7 people drafted. Seven drafted. A couple of surprises. What do you guys think?
So let's start with Nick Bonito. I think it's safe to say across the board, like most Oklahoma Sooners fell a little bit more than expected for this draft. Nick Bonito goes really late in the second round to the Denver Donkeys.
Denver Broncos, actually.
He's a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I was pretty upset about that pick, but great pickup for Denver. They got Bradley Chubb on the other side, so I think he's going to get a lot of attention, and he's going to allow Nick Bonito to get some really good one-on-one matchups and let him go to work and use that quick burst. If really with Nick Bonito, the one thing, if he can put on a little bit more muscle, get himself, NFL ready, that body type, 15, 20 pounds of muscle over the next couple seasons, I think he's going to be a really good, really effective pass rusher for the Broncos for the foreseeable future, and that scares the crap out of me as a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Nick?
I do want to say Oklahoma's the only team that has had 4 NFL draft picks in the last 15 years, at least. So that just represents Oklahoma, how well they do progressing players, recruiting. Oklahoma's always going to be Oklahoma. But like you said, Emerson, I'm excited for Nick Bonito going to the Broncos. That team's going to be really good.
Yeah.
They have Russell Wilson on that team as well. That they got
AFC West is loaded.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time in the AFC West next year, I tell you what. And for all you Sooner fans, you should love this because that means twice a year on Sundays, you're going to get to see Nick Bonito versus Orlando Brown Jr. in the NFL. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? That's a very interesting matchup. So
Right.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to.
Cool.
And then Brian Osimela, he's in the 3rd round, gets picked 66 overall. Osimela has great speed for a linebacker. I think in the NFL you have to have good speed at that linebacker position or any position to be successful. So, and then Perrion, honestly, I thought he was going to be the first, second round guy, but he falls to the 4th round, and that was one of the biggest steals of the draft in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like the Asamoah pick by Minnesota. You can never have too many fast, physical linebackers that can close on the ball, identify plays, and run sideline to sideline. And I think, in all honesty, Brian Asamoah is probably the most NFL-ready guy in this draft class, considering what I just talked about with Nick Bonito, maybe adding a little bit more weight. So, I mean, Brian Asamoah, he's got it all, and I think Minnesota got a really, really good pick, especially in the 3rd round. I'm good right now, thank you. But, yeah, I really like Osamoah and his landing spot, and it's a competitive division. They got Green Bay in that division, so, maybe Minnesota will be able to sneak one out, and maybe Asamoah will be a big-time impact player for them on defense.
Right, and the thing about Osamoah's speed, one thing is pass coverage. Linebackers have to be fast. It's a pass-first league, so you get that with Brian Osimela.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What's the other one?
Next one, Perrion Winfrey falls all the way to the 4th round. I had him latest, especially with the positional value. You know how defensive linemen are valued in the NFL. I pictured him latest going mid-3rd round. He falls all the way to the 4th. I can't remember what pick it was, but
He was the
3rd pick in the
108th
4th round
pick overall.
Okay, 108th. So just outside the top 100. Man, the post-draft interview that Perrion Winfrey had with Cleveland's media was absolutely hilarious. He said, the word dog probably like 60 times. And he brought that energy. Like he always does as an Oklahoma Sooner fan. He brings that energy.
Well, plus he had a really good Senior Bowl. He was like one of the MVPs of the Senior Bowl. And
I think he was the MVP. Yeah.
Like he did such a great job.
Yeah.
And he has great size, great length. Like he's going to be a monster in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. And if he can occupy double teams, I know that wasn't his specialty. But I mean, he's got Myles Garrett on that defensive line and a lot of other studs all across that Cleveland's.
Did they retain Jadeveon Clowney?
I think he's still unsigned. I'm pretty sure he's a free agent still. I haven't heard anything, so don't quote me on that. But either way, with Myles Garrett, like you're going to be able to, if you can win one-on-one matchups, you're going to be able to eat in that defensive scheme. So I think Cleveland and Perrion Winfrey is going to be a really good steal. Even though I'm mad at Cleveland at the moment, but we'll get to that later.
Cleveland can eat shit, honestly. Yeah. But I want all these players to do good individually. So
next one.
Delarian Turner-Yell again. The Denver Broncos.
Broncos.
My apologies. My apologies there. They get another Oklahoma Sooner in the draft. Delarian Turner-Yell, 5th round. An expected landing spot. I was kind of thinking maybe 6th round, 5th, 6th round range for him before the draft. So he falls right about where we expected him to. Again, Denver's had a really good defense for the past couple of years. I know they did just get rid of their defensive coordinator, or maybe their head coach, who was defensive minded. But anyway, Delarian Turner-Yell, I mean, he can run fit wherever you want. He's very physical at the point of attack, especially for a safety. And he showed some really, really good speed in the combine. And I think that that's going to translate well. And I think that that's what, got him into that 5th round early 3rd day of the draft. And I think that it's going to be really good for him because Denver's always had a good defense. And if he can contribute, they'll be huge.
Yeah. And, DTY was a 3-4 year starter at OU. He has so much experience, and that's going to transition. That's something that those NFL guys look at.
Yeah.
And to me, some surprises. Michael Woods, to be honest, I wasn't thinking that he was going to get drafted. Yeah, he's got a lot of talent, pretty good speed. Didn't really have a lot of opportunities in this OU offense last season. But he goes 6th round to the Browns. He goes 202 overall. And then Isaiah Thomas, he falls all the way down to the 7th round, and I thought Isaiah Thomas was probably about a 3rd round kind of guy. So
I think that's the steal of the draft as far as Oklahoma Sooners are concerned. I mean, Isaiah Thomas in the 7th round. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And he played every position on the defensive line throughout the last 2 years, and he was productive at each one of those positions. And I think one thing that goes unnoticed for Isaiah Thomas. He's got a great motor. He's got a really phenomenal motor, and he might be undersized. Give him a couple more years to put on some weight. Get an NFL training program, especially with the strength conditioning program Oklahoma had under the previous regime. So expect him to put on some good weight. But 7th round, super productive all throughout the last couple of years, and like I said, he played everywhere on the defensive line. So really good steal, really good value, Isaiah Thomas.
And then lastly, we have Marquis Hayes going to the Arizona Cardinals, 7th round, 257th overall. He's going to be playing with Kyler. Marquise Brown gets traded to Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be really exciting to see those two link back up again. But something about Marquis Hayes. I saw him when Oklahoma and Florida were playing in their bowl game in 2020. I saw Marquis Hayes run down the field 30 yards in front of Ramondre Stevenson, take out 2 guys, and it was ridiculous. I was so excited about that play. But Marquis Hayes, I think in the 7th round, that's a steal.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Marquis Hayes was like a 5th round talent, 4th, 5th round talent. And I think he honestly fell because he had a lot of really bad moments last year. And we've talked about this before. I think a lot of that was just due to lack of conditioning, especially with the offensive line and with COVID and everything that happened.
That was a bad year.
Yeah, that was a bad year, especially for O-line play, especially at Oklahoma, and Marquis Hayes was not immune to that. So I think that's why he fell, but I honestly do think that he has starting level potential in the NFL, especially if he can get his conditioning under wraps and taken care of. So, like you said, he's a smart football player. I've heard a lot of really good things about him from draft analysts. Did I say that right? Okay. So yeah, I think it's going to be Sooners out west with all the boys in Arizona. So that'll be extremely exciting to watch. A lot of fun for Oklahoma fans.
That might be my new team to play with on Madden. The Arizona Cardinals. I think that's going to be it.
I'm going to say it right now. They're my NFC team next year, so I'll be rooting for them. NFC.
They already were my NFC team. That's
True.
what I was watching. I was watching Cleveland, Arizona every Sunday. So
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up on that end. You guys got anything left?
Undrafted free agents, real quick. Kennedy Brooks, obviously a beloved Sooner, 3,000-yard rushing seasons in a row. He gets picked up by Philly. He's going, to play with Jalen Hurts, so that'll be really exciting. And Lane Johnson, so that'll be really exciting to watch. Yeah. Gabe Burkich also goes to Minnesota. So a lot of these guys, they're going to have friends in the NFL, which I think makes a huge difference. Guys that they know from college, which always makes any transition easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gabe Burkich goes to Minnesota. It sounds like they've already gotten rid of their old kicker, so it sounds like he's kind of the guy going forward, which is super exciting. Especially with Lincoln Riley's lack of emphasis on special teams, to see a kicker, get picked up, undrafted, but still picked up and basically ready to go, ready to play for the next, at the next level is super exciting.
And shout out to Bryce because he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. And he's been devastated by kickers. He's been seeing too many losses by missed field goals. So maybe Gabe Burchick is going to do you some good, Bryce. Also, LaRon Stokes goes to Arizona, and then Jeremiah Hall gets picked up by the New York Giants as well. So some OU guys find some landing spots that I think could make a difference in the future.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else?